Welcome to the GCN Tech Show. This week we're talking the world's fastest socks and the world's biggest padlock. I mean, it must be huge.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is the world's biggest, but either way, it's an absolute whopper, which you're going to get to see. And we've got all the usual favourites. We've got the Bike Vault, your upgrades, and have we reached the absolute maximum in performance when it comes to bikes?
Good question, John.
Who knows? Have we reached maximum bike performance?
I mean, that's a good question, John, but what's got you thinking about that?
Well, last week I went off to visit 3 of the world's fastest bikes that have ever been used. And I know what you're all thinking at home, and I know what you're probably thinking. Oh yeah, well you still got to ride it. You do. But these bikes were so fast that 2 out of the 3 were banned.
I know what you're talking about, John. You're talking about, well, the UCI rulebook.
Yeah.
And we're back to it again, aren't we? We still talk about the rules and the regulations, and we think that the UCI does need to relax it just a little bit. I mean, they're still on that 6.8 kilogram weight limit that I think every team out there could, kind of buy a bike that comes in under that weight.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you can go into a shop and you can buy a bike which weighs less. I really want to see limits being pushed, right? Now, yeah, I know I've already said it. It's not all about the bike. There is a rider too. But let's face it, when we get press releases from most bike manufacturers out there, when it's a top-level performance bike, it's either focused on aerodynamics or comfort. And with aerodynamics, yeah, they are all beginning to look the same. I mean, yeah, there are some refinements being made here and there to try and slightly improve them, but, well, they're all starting to be a bit sameish.
I mean, you're so right in that, because if you think about the silhouettes of the frames that abide by the UCI rules, they do all look fairly similar. So is the UCI rule of frame building limiting what can and can't be done with frame design?
Yeah, I reckon we're pretty close. I mean, we've had some great advancements in tech. Think about electronic gearing, for instance. When I was a kid, that was a mere dream. I remember when Mavic Mechatronic first came out, I really wanted it, never got it. But also, things like carbon fibre, commonplace these days. Back then, that was stuff, and it was almost in its prototype stages. STI levers, they were for professionals. The only tyres worth racing on were tubular tyres. And, well, we've got pretty far.
Yeah, you're right, John. Are we at, peak level?
Got to be close.
I mean, we have to be, unless the UCI relaxes their rule book a little bit. We're kind of like stuck, aren't we? I mean, think back. Great Britain still used the bike for the Olympics that they did back in 2004 because they think they are that good.
Yeah, it's interesting that, isn't it? I mean, I think they've changed the handlebars and the forks slightly, but yeah, they're still using them, which is absolutely incredible, mind-blowing, really. Now, don't get me wrong, I do not want to see a peloton full of riders on beam-style bikes, and I definitely never, ever want to see that image again that we've just had on screen.
What image?
That one, it offends me.
You can't even unsee that. So.
No.
Anyway, what about Tron bikes?
No, definitely not allowed.
Why not? Why?
Well, it's just impractical. But what I do want to see, right, is for UCI time trials and also individual and team events on the track, I want to see technology being used again.
Yeah.
Think back to Miguel Indurain, the Pinarello sword that he used. Absolutely brilliant bike. Even the Battaglin Piranha back in 1985. I mean, we're talking about a bike which is over 30 years old and it still looks absolutely amazing. Those bikes oozed passion. We want these rules to be changed right now.
I can feel your passion right now, John.
Yeah.
But what do our thoughts really matter? What matters is what you think. So let us know in the comment section below. Are we at the peak, at the pinnacle of bike design?
Yeah, or are we just barking up the wrong tree? Is it all really
Don't
about...
bark up your tree.
Well, you're not welcome. Or is it all about just steel frames and round tubes and, well, just bike designs that look like something pre-war?
Yeah.
Get involved in the comment section.
Yeah, do.
Let
We
us know
like
your
a
thoughts.
heated conversation.
Or a calm one. I don't mind. But right now, I'm pretty heated about this, to be honest.
I can tell.
Bring back those funky bikes.
Right, hot new tech now, and Defeat, the sock specialists, have come up with these that they claim to be the world's fastest socks. I mean, Alaphilippe wore them to win a stage of the Tour de France, and they say it's because of rider demand, because of Taconic Quickstep. The whole team uses these socks.
Yeah.
And these are the new ones, the Evo Disruptors. These are the white editions, and to be honest, I think they look pretty nice.
Yeah, nice and simple looking sock, aren't they? Now, the stats behind it are at 48 kilometers per hour, these are 4 watts quicker per leg than a bare foot.
I'm gonna need
So
them.
that I reckon, and also they've tested them against other leading aerodynamic socks in the cycling market too. Team GB do take note. I think it was back in 2015 or 2016, the Team Pursuit squad, do you remember this? They were riding barefooted.
Yeah, it was Bradley Wiggins' new thing, wasn't it?
Well, do you know what? He wasn't doing it though for any aero gains whatsoever. The reason he was doing it was just to see if anyone else would copy.
And they did.
Yeah, they did. It was absolutely hilarious.
I wasn't a fan, to be fair.
No, I don't like them. Your feet start to smell. Oh. Yeah. Something totally different now, my friend, to the world's fastest socks is this Indiegogo crowdfunding project from the folks at Altor Locks. Now, this is the new SAF lock, and it is a sad, state of affairs, isn't it, really, that bike theft does occur. But, something to protect your pride and joy could well be this new lock. Just check out the sheer size of it.
That's ginormous.
That is a whopper, isn't it? Absolute whopper. And it can actually resist angle grinder attacks too.
Yeah, either those angle grinders either burnt out the engine or ran out of battery or the grinder disc broke.
Yeah, now one of the reasons behind this could well be the fact that it has a vinyl casing over the actual shackle itself. The shackle is then 60 millimeters in diameter, which is pretty big, let's face it. And inside of that 60 millimeter shackle is a 14 millimeter hardened steel insert.
I mean, it's absolutely huge. But the real question I think everyone's going to be asking, John, is, how much does it weigh?
Yeah, it does weigh over 6 kilos. Yeah, I know. But do you know what? Actually, some bike locks do weigh more than that already.
Oh my gosh.
So you don't want to go lugging around one of those with you all
I'm
day.
not going to have
every
that in
day.
my rucksack as I go to work.
I don't know, you get a strong back. But it's not really designed with that in mind. The idea behind it really is that you leave it at your place of work or you use it at your home to secure your pride and joy. And do you know what? Hats off to them for this, because I've seen people get through bike locks in literally seconds with an angle grinder.
Yeah. Right, moving on from enormous padlocks, our mates over at Canyon have just launched their new flat bar e-bike called the Road Light On. And to be honest, look at that, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, now they say that this is the definition of high performance fitness bike. And I reckon, like you say, it does look very nice indeed. Now the motor system that comes fitted on it is from Fazua, and it's the Ovation model, which adds just 4.6 kilos
not
to
bad.
it. So it's not bad at all, really. We don't know too much about the bikes though, because the embargo was just a few hours ago. But what we do know, there's 3 different models, and they come with aluminium frames and carbon forks, and of course they're going to have different group sets on them. I look forward actually to having a pedal on one of those.
I want one of those.
Cha-ching!
Now time for screw riding upgrades by upgrades.
That's right, the part of the show where you can be in with a chance of winning. Wait for it, I've actually got one this week.
Go on, what have you got?
The GCN Camelback Eddie water bottle.
Have you been using it?
I have, yeah. Don't worry, you do not win this exact one with my with the remnants of my lime cordial in there. Anyway, last week the competition was between Richie and Martin, not Ricky Martin. Remember we had that joke of the week? That was absolutely brilliant.
Absolute joke of the week.
Well edited quacker. Now, last week there wasn't a landslide victory. But the winner was Richie, 62% of the votes. Get in touch with us, mate, on Facebook to arrange the delivery.
Knocked it out the park, didn't he? Poof.
Steady on. Someone's had their Cocoa Pops. Right. Anyway, the first one this week is from Frank from Hardenberg in the Netherlands. Frank bought this slightly tired Cannondale CAD 5 from Dutch eBay for a mere €180. 180! Hey! Because he believed that with a bit of TLC, it could be a banger.
Oh.
Frank decided to strip the bike down to the frame and tackled the dated paint job first. Red and brown.
I like
really?
Red and brown.
Ugh. Now, Frank hand sanded it down to the bare aluminium, and he adds that he wouldn't recommend to anyone as he feels he must have inhaled most of the old paint job. Yeah, we don't recommend that.
Don't want that.
No. Once that was finally done, he put some nice new stickers on it, a couple of layers of clear coat, and began the rebuild.
Love it. Go on.
On went a load of new... Hold your horses. Honestly. On went a load of new parts and, importantly, some new bar tape.
Beautiful.
Apparently it rides like a dream, and it didn't cost Frank an arm and a leg.
Oh,
Frank is a happy boy. Right, there it is before. Yeah, awful red and brown. Awful. What were they ever thinking?
I can't look at that monstrosity.
No, look at it being sanded down. That would have taken some good old-fashioned elbow grease.
That is some serious elbow grease there.
Patented elbow grease as well. Patented
There we
elbow
go.
grease.
You'll
There
get
we
it
are,
at
got
the
it.
end. Yeah.
Right, there we are. There it is.
Oh,
that
looks sweet.
What's that picture in the background? Inside of the what looks like his dining room.
I don't know, but it looks like a sweet house. Nice windows.
It is, isn't it? Tell you what, that looks absolutely... Because Cannondale did bikes like that.
To be fair, that looks absolutely awesome.
Brushed aluminium bikes, they always look the
Compact on the
absolute
front.
dog's danglies. They look brilliant, don't they?
Nice bike, Frankie boy, if I can call you that.
Yeah, you can call him that.
Well, he's up
so.
against Christopher from San Diego, California.
Never, ever do accents again. That's for Oliver only. Only joking, mate. Only joking.
Sorry, John.
I'm joking.
Christopher got back into road cycling earlier this year for fitness purposes because he was being lazy. His words.
Christopher.
Not mine.
Okay.
He found a super cheap Specialized S-Works SL 4-frame on eBay, It had a boatload of paint damage and seized bearings, so the price was just right at $200. Total bargain. Christopher went to work on making it look as good as he could. Custom automotive paint was sprayed on beforehand. Drawn logos were added. The build-up has taken place over the last few months, including Ultegra 6870 Di2 drive chain with Pioneer dual-sided power meter, a custom padded and wrapped carbon saddle.
That sounds naughty, doesn't it?
Naughty! Debranded head 5060 carbon wheel set. And I've just got a peek at it, and it looks pretty cool.
So
I don't think you got a chance,
There
chap.
it is. Go back up to that. Okay, yes, I see the bit of paint damage on the chain
Where's the
stay.
paint damage? Oh,
There,
yeah,
the chain stay.
there it is.
Yeah. Here it is.
Limit 15.
Looks like he's stolen that sign. We don't encourage theft, Christopher.
We don't.
No.
So it started off with some primer there, didn't he?
Yeah, there it is. Boring old grey primer.
And then we start looking at that logos. That says all American.
Is that sprayed on or is that like
no, he's drawn
with,
it. He's
what,
drawn
with like felt tips?
Like
with Crayolas?
with permanent marker.
Oh right, Sharpie.
Sharp.
Blimey.
But this is artistic. Tarmac with the four stripes and the stars and it's blue and it's American.
It does actually look really good, that. Yeah,
and that
it's individual.
Is the full bike.
Yeah.
That is it revealed. That is it on top of the grass, looking amazing.
Sounds like that's it. Sounds like that's it.
But that's it.
That's it. Okay, who's it going to be? Frankie boy, if we can call you that, Frank.
Frankie boy.
Or Christopher. You decide. Top right-hand corner.
I know exactly who I'm voting for.
Who's going to be getting their, well, having their thirst quenched?
Yeah, but with your second album.
No. We only send out new goods. Vote up there, top right-hand corner.
Okay, not a competition this week, but a short tale of how Egan Bernal got his Pinarello F12 in time for the final stage on the Champs-Elysees.
That's right. So our friend Alan over there on GCN Italia, he got to chat to Fausto Pinarello, and I've done my very best in translating this video into English. Although I've obviously not done a voiceover because that would just be really bad, wouldn't it? So we're going to put the subtitles on the video instead, but it's well worth a watch.
Cue video.
Quindi Fausto, spiegaci come avete fatto.
Beh, prima di tutto ho dovuto trovare i ragazzi la mia squadra di verniciatori disponibile per il sabato mattina, quindi siamo partiti da chi ha lavorato il telaio, i due telai in questo caso 253 di Egan Bernal, da chi ha preparato la base per fare la verniciatura, da chi li ha verniciati, da chi ci ha messo le scritte, da chi poi l'ha verniciati per il trasparente, al montatore e all'imballaggio.
I tempi sono strettissimi, quindi devono fare frettissima, diciamo.
Sono riuscito quasi a organizzare i turni. Ho detto quello dell'imballaggio non serve che vieni alle 7:30 di mattina, puoi venire verso le 4, 4:30, quello del montaggio vieni qua all'1:30, 2 e sono riuscito a fargli fare quello delle calcomanie che è quello intermediario. Ho detto vieni pure alle 10, tanto verniciano, danno il fondo, esce dal forno e tu metti la scritta. Quindi sì, no, infatti devo ringraziare questi ragazzi qua che sono sempre disponibili.
Anche perché loro sono comunque pronti a qualsiasi evenienza, sanno che può succedere che qualcuno ha bisogno di una bici personalizzata, devono entrare in azione in quel modo.
Devo dire una cosa, intanto hanno la passione per questo oggetto che è la bicicletta da corsa. Ci sono ragazzi che sono con me da tantissimi anni, tra l'altro sono cresciuti con me perché il primo mestiere che ho fatto io a 17 anni era abbastanza svogliato a scuola, anzi molto svogliato a scuola.
Poi ovviamente c'è anche il corriere, la parte finale di questa procedura.
I corrieri, quando ci sono corrieri il sabato. Sono andato all'aeroporto di Venezia, sera, siamo andati a Parigi, è venuto a prenderci il nostro agente, siamo andati direttamente da Diego, il meccanico, e da Gerrit, erano già informati, guarda che arriviamo col telaio così, è montato così, voi dovete fare il resto. Praticamente siamo andati a 10, alle 11 siamo andati dai meccanici e a mezzogiorno, 11:30 ho cominciato a montare la bici. E è arrivato con l'aereo, li abbiamo visti arrivare in pullman alla partenza e hanno trovato le 2 bici pronte alle 4 di pomeriggio.
Where's the bell?
What's the bell? What's the bell? What's the bell? What's the bell? What's the
Bell, where's the bell? Music to my ears, that.
It's now time for the bike vault. If you'd like to get your bike into the bike vault, then you can submit it using the uploader tool in the description below.
Yeah, but before we go on, we need a couple of things actually, don't we?
Yeah, we need the bell and we need the bikes.
Yeah, that didn't really work quite as good as the bell, did it? But anyway, yeah, let's crack on with the
Who's
first
first?
one this week. Okay, it's Chris from Portland in Oregon.
What's
right.
he got?
So this is Chris's Eddie Merckx bike, right? So this was from the mid-90s, and this is a Motorola team bike. But
Oh.
you see on there it says Caloi, and then in little letters it says by Eddie Merckx. So Caloi are actually a big Brazilian manufacturer. I'm going to take Hank down a little bit of history, a bit like memory lane, something like that.
Rewind.
So, yeah. So Caloi are like a big Brazilian bike manufacturer, but they wanted to sell more bikes, so they kind of sponsored the Motorola team to try and obviously
Promote
sell a bit
themselves,
more. Yes,
yeah.
they had a Mexican rider, Raul Alcala, riding for them at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, this bike isn't a Caloi, it's not an Eddie Merckx, it's a Lightspeed. Just to further confuse it, all that aside, great looking bike, isn't it?
What's on the top? Laurent
Madois. Okay, so he was actually a rider in the squad at the time. We got a pair, well actually that's a Cinelli Gramo stem, so that's titanium. We've also got the very short-lived
Spinachis.
Spinachis, that's the one.
Spinnakers.
Same effect, made you go very fast. Those ones had holes in them so they caught the wind and tended to whistle a little bit. Either way, ring that bell. Go on! Right, who's up next then?
Right, we've got John from
Son.
Pennsylvania in the US of A.
Okay.
2018 S-Works Tarmac. Look at that. Rafa bottles, S-Works frame. It's the Tarmac carbon version discs. It's got those new, what are those, Rover
wheels, Yeah, Rover.
What?
I mean, okay, there's a blazingly obvious
S-Works
mistake here, isn't there?
Yes, I mean, the bike's not drive side.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest downfall of this.
Because we can't actually see a lot of the bike.
No, good depth of field, but the problem is...
And a nice bike, let's be honest. Like
you just need to flip it.
Yeah.
Flip mode squad.
I like the tarmac and I like the paint job.
Yeah.
It's got DIT on it, hasn't
I
it?
just cannot condone this sort of photo in the bike farm.
I'm sorry, it's a
nice bike though, my friend. Okay, next up is a Jan Doris in Terschelling in the Netherlands.
I haven't seen many of these.
And that has got the Rotor Uno hydraulic group set as well, by the looks of things. Yeah.
This bike always looks kind of strange to me because of the seat post and just the way the bike is angled. It hasn't got like clean.
It's like really thin,
everything's kind of
really big,
everything's
really
kind
thin.
of like a bit higgledy-piggledy, and it's a bit, it's got nice shapes.
That's one of my favourite words, higgledy-piggledy.
Higgledy-piggledy.
Yeah, no, it is.
I don't know if I can say it.
I use it quite often. But yeah, so
it's got Rover wheels as well.
I mean, again, this is a submission. They clearly have not watched a certain video that went out, have they? Because valves don't line up. Biggie big, no biggie smalls. Oh, those things, by the way, they're called Zertz inserts. You know those like the big bits on the tubes and forks.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Yeah, they've got like dampening.
Yeah, I mean for the cobbles, isn't it? It's designed for the cobbles.
Things I love those chrome logos on that bike, and you don't see the Rotor Uno group set very often.
No, you don't at all. I can't remember that many I've seen. I've seen about 3, I think.
Yeah, but for me, it's the fact that
I like the tan wall tyres though on those Roval carbon rims.
But the logos aren't matched up with the valves. The valves aren't lined up.
What's the white bit underneath it?
The biggie big. That looks to me like a bench. So he like raised it up.
Oh, see what he's
looks
done.
like old Jan Doris has raised it up in his garden in Terschelling, just to try and give it a bit of ooh la la, a bit of something, but
Bit of ooh la la.
but it's not really giving me the.
Nah, I'm sorry.
Nice
it's
bike.
It's a nice bike.
It's actually sorry. It's a nice bike. Oh wow. Okay.
Look at this. This is Paulo Albe from the Philippines. Mm-hmm. Is it Paulo? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Paulo.
Albe.
Yeah.
This is his Bianchi Ultra XR3 CV location.
Well, it's a beautiful location, isn't it?
That is insane. Where is that?
Philippines.
Yeah, but where in the Philippines?
Albe.
Where's Albe?
I don't know. Never been. Paulo. I've never been.
Can we go, Paulo?
Yeah, please.
Because that looks incredible. But let's hone down
No.
on this bike.
Is that a mountain or is that like a really well-shaped cloud?
It's a mountain.
Okay.
Is it?
Well, that's why I asked.
Well, no, that's a big mountain.
It's
Looks like a
monster, isn't
volcano.
it? Yeah, right by the ocean.
Yeah. But I want to get honed down on the frame.
Okay.
I mean, this is a
Celeste,
Celeste. Lovely. And he's also gone for Celeste bar tape.
Yeah.
But he's matched up with the saddle.
Yeah.
I like that.
Bottle cages as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
It's a nice bike, that. It's a small as well. And I always think small bikes look pretty good.
You would say that.
Yeah.
Do you know what this is virtually an all-Italian build. Physique saddle, I think that is, or is it Selle Italia SLR? Fulcrum crankset. You don't see those very often.
No.
Everything on it is Italian, other than what looks to be a pair of Shimano SPDSL pedals, which you can be forgiven for, but because you've gone almost full out Italian.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it super nice.
Yeah, go on, super nice. Right, okay, final one this week comes in from Sam in Florida, and this is Sam's Specialized Tarmac.
Oh, it's beautiful,
but you know what?
that Specialized
Yeah,
Tarmac.
but that's a 1965 Mustang, mate. Yeah, which is one of the first generations of Mustangs that's on board. Now, some of the standard features of those Mustangs was the fact they had black front seat belts. Of course, in the rear, they didn't tend to have seat belts. Safety wasn't such a critical thing.
No.
A light in the glove box, and also a padded dashboard. I don't really know why they did those padded dashboards. I must research a little bit more on that. Enough of that, though. What about the numbers?
Yeah, what?
Okay,
the bike,
well,
yeah.
the range-topping Challenger High Performance model kicked out 271 horsepower from its 289 cubic inch engine, which is a 4.7. It's a V8, by the way. It also came with a 4-speed manual transmission. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
0 to 60 was 8.6 seconds, and the top speed of those, a whopping 120 miles per hour. Not really that whopping, though, really, for a 4.7 litre engine. And if that's not enough, it only took 18 months to sell 1 million of those. Give it a ring. Go on. More Bike Vault next week. So there we are, nearly time for the end of the show. But I think it's worth looking at some of the comments underneath last week's show. And to be honest, well, most people tended to talk about Quacker, didn't they? Quacker behind the lens, of course. So
Not about us, is it?
No, I mean,
we've got a new star of the show.
Yeah, Mr. Quackmeister himself. Anyway, big shout out really for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's face it. And in fact, someone said the editing deserves an Oscar for this episode. So, well, here's Oscar Pujol.
Have him! Have him! Right, we got one from Erica Schaefer. Great, Schaffer. Yeah? You happy with that? Yeah, thanks, mate. Great job on this video, Quacker. John and Hobbit Feet Hank. Loved it. Hobbit Feet.
They got a point, mate.
I don't look like Bilbo Baggins, do I?
And also Israel Tova, Hank and Chris, a more serious Hank. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Hank and John, comedic duo from the beginning to the end. I'm very happy to see this other side of you all.
Do you know what? That's the first time I've been called funny. Everyone seems to, laugh at me, not with me. Right.
Nearly got your fingertips in, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'll
If you
pick a joke.
enjoyed this show, then make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If not, for Quacker's insane editing.
Yeah, exactly. And also remember to like and share this video with your friends. And also remember to subscribe to the channel and also click that little notification icon so you get a little
bell icon
each and every time.
Notification. Yeah, that's what I was
we
going to
put a video live. And well, for 2 more great videos, how about...
Can I offer one?
Go on.
If you would like to get in the Bike Vault, and I think, well, you would. I mean, why would you not?
Yeah.
Watch this video on just how to do that and how to get the perfect picture.
Yeah, and if you want to see how I'm trying to turn a kind of garbagey bike into a gravel-ish bike, click just down here.
I'll be clicking on that one.
Okay.
Boof.